Madame Abini, a name that echoed through the narrow alleys and grand halls alike. Just her name made people whisper with fear and respect. Her presence was a shadow that loomed over everyone, a constant reminder of her power. She was rich and powerful, living in a huge, fancy house surrounded by poverty. Her mansion stood as a stark contrast to the crumbling homes around it, a symbol of her dominance. But her heart was cold, like the jewels she wore. Each ring on her finger was a testament to her ruthlessness, each gem a story of someone she had crushed. She ruled her house with an iron fist, her stare as sharp as a knife. No one dared to defy her, for her wrath was swift and unforgiving. Mercy? She didn't know the meaning of the word. Pleas for leniency fell on deaf ears, and her dismissive gestures were final. Kindness, she thought it was weak. To her, showing compassion was a sign of vulnerability, something she could never afford. In Madame Abini's world, only strength and meanness mattered. She believed that power was maintained through fear and cruelty. The girls who lived with her were terrified of her. They moved like shadows, always trying to stay out of her sight, always fearing her next outburst. They were trapped, forced to live a life they never wanted. Their dreams of freedom were just that, dreams, distant and unreachable. Madame Abini didn't see them as people, but as things she owned, tools to make her richer and more powerful. To her, they were mere assets, not individuals with their own hopes and desires. Their pain didn't matter to her. She walked past their suffering without a second glance, her heart as hard as the diamonds she wore. Their dreams? She didn't care. To her, their aspirations were irrelevant, mere distractions from their duties. They were only there to serve her, obey her, and suffer her anger. Every day was a struggle for survival, a battle to avoid her ire. Itohan was different. She had a presence that set her apart from the others. She was brought to Madame Abini's house like the others, but there was something unique about her. Itohan had a quiet strength inside, a resilience that was hard to miss. She had lived a hard life, knew what it was like to be hungry and lose the people she loved. Her past was filled with pain and loss, but through it all, she kept her faith. Her belief in something greater gave her hope. Every night she knelt on the cold floor and prayed. Her prayers were her solace, her way of staying connected to her faith. Her quiet prayers were like a small light in the darkness, a beacon of hope in a world that seemed so bleak. She saw the fear in the other girls' eyes, felt their sadness. She understood their pain because she had lived it herself, but Itohan refused to give up. She stood tall, a pillar of strength for those around her. She held on to her faith, believing that even in the worst times God was there. Her faith was unshakable. Her kindness, so different from Madame Abini's cruelty, comforted the other girls. She was a source of warmth in a cold place. She shared her small meals, always thinking of others before herself. She told them they were strong, that they could endure, and that they were not alone. She reminded them that even though they were trapped, their spirits could still be free. Itohan's heart of purity was a guiding light for all. Madame Abini watched Itohan suspiciously. This girl with her quiet strength and strong faith challenged everything Madame Abini believed. She thought Itohan's kindness was weakness, her faith just silly. She made fun of Itohan's prayers, put her down, and punished her for being kind. But Itohan wouldn't break. She took Madame Abini's anger with grace and dignity. Her spirit stayed strong. She met cruelty with kindness, hate with love. Her faith was like a shield, protecting her from the darkness. She knew her strength came from something much bigger than Madame Abini, a power that could change anything. One day Madame Abini got sick. A strange sickness made her weak and kept her in bed. Fear, something she never let herself feel, crept into her heart. The girls whispered, scared. But Itohan, instead of being happy, felt sorry for Madame Abini. She took care of her touch soft and her voice calming. She brought her water, fixed her pillows, and stayed by her side. The other girls were surprised. Why would Itohan be nice to the woman who had been so mean to them? Itohan just smiled and said, "We are all God's children. Even when we do wrong, He still loves us." As time went on, Madame Abini's heart started to change. She saw how strong Itohan's faith was, how kind and caring she was. For the first time, she saw the world without greed and cruelty. She heard Itohan's prayers, not as silly words, but as pleas for her to get better. One night, as Itohan sat by her bed, Madame Abini reached out and took her hand. Tears filled her eyes, tears of sadness and regret. She told Itohan about the bad things she had done, how cruel she had been. Itohan listened, comforting her and forgiving her. At that moment, Madame Abeni changed completely. The bad feelings went away, replaced by peace and thankfulness. When Madame Abeni got better, she was a new person. Her transformation was nothing short of miraculous, a testament to the power of faith and inner strength. She had faced her darkest moments and emerged with a renewed spirit. The mean, cold woman was gone, replaced by someone who wanted to be good. Her heart, once hardened by life's trials, had softened. She now radiated warmth and kindness, a beacon of hope for those around her. She let the girls go, giving them a chance at a new life. No longer bound by her past, she offered them freedom and the opportunity to pursue their dreams. Her actions spoke louder than words, showing her genuine desire to make amends. She used her money to help poor people, showing everyone how faith and forgiveness can change a person. Her generosity knew no bounds as she reached out to those in need, providing not just material support, but also emotional and spiritual guidance. Itohan's strong faith not only saved her own spirit but also brought light into Madame Abeni's heart. Her unwavering belief in God's love and mercy became a source of inspiration, igniting a spark of hope in those who had lost their way. Her story shows us how powerful prayer is, how important forgiveness is, and how God is always with us. Through her journey, we learn that no matter how far we stray, we can always find our way back through faith and repentance. No matter how dark things get, remember that God is there, ready to help you and show you the way. In our most challenging times, His presence is a guiding light, offering comfort and direction when we need it most. Hold on to your faith because it can help you through hard times and bring you real peace. Trust in God's plan, and you will find the strength to overcome any obstacle, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. Story by Itohan Omoruyi.